Well, well, well. I wasn't aware you had such handsome legs.
Hey, it's LWAXANA and fathers, lock up your sons because LWAXANA Troi is on the town.
She's here.
Yes, indeed.
Played by the magnificent First Lady of Star Trek, Majel Barrett, the daughter of the Fifth House shows up about once a season to scope out a new man and give her part-time empathic daughter Deanna a headache.
My mother is on board.
Deanna, your mother is a treasure! Not to mention, she probably could have made a better counselor. She got Alexander over his lying problem. Hey, eyes up here, young man. But we're not here to talk about Deanna's abilities as a counselor. In fact, I've already touched on that. We're here to talk about the romances of her merry widow mother. Because when she's not trying to marry Deanna off, she's on the prowl.
You said you didn't want to hear about my other romances.
The holder of the Sacred Chalice of Reeks made her first appearance to attend her daughter's arranged marriage to... Sir, James Spader called. He wants his hair back. But LWAXANA really wasn't looking for a man in that episode, though she wanted everyone to see her naked.
Your husband quite likes the idea of seeing me unclothed.
It's a Betazoid tradition, people! It's part of their wedding ceremony!
Which of these would look best on me naked?
Look, I'm not saying that Wyatt ditching Deanna before the wedding to hang out with the most fit-looking group of sick people who may have been stalking him for years was right. I'm just saying I understand. Still love you, LWAXANA.
Well, the captain's highly attracted to me, but he's a little too old.
Maybe I spoke too soon about not looking for a man. In fact, perhaps her love for the distinguished Earl Grey guzzling bald French captain of the Enterprise grew since Deanna's engagement. It's the English accent. That French-English accent.
Well, well, well. And you, Jean-Luc. I wasn't aware you had such handsome legs.
And she hasn't even seen him on Ryza. A romantic dinner dressed up as an official ambassador function?
I am serving a Betazoid dinner of greeting tonight. It is an ambassadorial function.
To which dinner was the captain referring, sir? Nothing I've been invited to.
So glad you could come.
LWAXANA, you little vixen, you. Just remember, kids, it's only creepy when Geordi does it.
I make a great fungili.
In fact, LWAXANA spends the entire meal coming onto Picard. And she's working those legs.
I wasn't aware you had such handsome legs.
And Picard was so uncomfortable, he ordered Data to interrupt as a third wheel.
Data, you will never know how much I owe you for that.
Let's be real, this could have been an episode of Seinfeld. Because, as it turns out, LWAXANA had only one thing on her mind. And it's the same thing Riker has on his. Yeah, it turns out she came on the ship at the start of Betazoid menopause, but instead of hot flashes, she just gets hot.
Never told me that.
I didn't want to frighten you.
Clearly, though, Picard is frightened and retreats to the safety of the holodeck. The same holodeck that tried to kill him last year. Heck, even the same holoprogram.
Computer, freeze program!
Meanwhile, LWAXANA is searching all over the ship for a new husband, completely ruling out Worf and Wesley? Lady, if he can't remember Geordi before the visor, he's too young for you. And as for Worf, you're gonna live a long and healthy life. Well, at least there's a whole ship full of men out there. Poor man's trying to avoid eye contact, but all for naught!
Your Commander Riker and I will be joined in the union of matrimony.
Hey, Jean-Luc, you got any room in the holodeck? LWAXANA, even a hologram?
You're insatiable.
Allowing me to go on like that with that man, who doesn't even exist.
Heck, even after implied rejection, the fire still burned for Jean-Luc.
Jean-Luc? Shame on you for thinking such a thing.
Kidnapped by the Ferengi so they can use her telepathic powers to get the upper hand in business? Well, she does think a man she can't read is kinda hot.
No man has ever been such a mystery to me.
Okay, yes, you could argue she only played along with Damon Togg for hers, Deanna's, and Riker's freedom, and the episode was probably intended that way from the start. Except this is how she related it to Odo.
He was just slightly repulsive. But he did have a certain charm.
But a bald, distinguished French captain quoting Shakespeare? It's kinda hot.
In despite of view, art pleased to dote. Shall I compare thee to a summer's day?
But alas, it doesn't last long.
Jean-Luc! You delicious man!
Well, that leaves Jean-Luc out. How about the quiet, balding scientist? You know, Waxana might have a type. Now, this is a romance I can get behind. Clearly, he enjoys her company, unlike Picard, and they balance each other out pretty well. He's soft-spoken and calm. She's lively and talkative. She exudes joy during a time when the fate of his planet is at stake, and he can't help but be attracted to her. But he's dying. Oh, he's not sick or anything. His society is telling him he needs to, pull the plug. According to them, he's 60, so he's done. And they're perfect for each other!
Can't accept that fate would allow me to meet him like this and then take him away.
Me neither, girl. Heck, if it wasn't for his daughter guilt-tripping him to go through with the resolution, they could have lived happily ever after.
Permission to disembark, Captain. I promise I won't cause any problems down there.
A few moments later.
You'll never take him alive!
Many months later.
I'm getting married.
Already? Well, who's the guy?
You see, we haven't exactly met yet.
Oh, you're gonna marry a guy you found on the internet without meeting him. Solid plan. I mean, this guy could be anyone. In fact, he could be Tony J.
We have a business to deal with here.
Yes, veteran actor and pretty darn good voice actor Tony J is Campio. And is that a bald head I see? Oh yeah, Waxana definitely has a type.
I'm attracted to bald men.
In fact, maybe they should have met before becoming engaged because Waxana's free spirit was enough to scare even Picard off. Heck, even Riker. Let alone this guy. He even wants her to wear this truly ugly dress to the wedding.
You're telling me you're not going to be naked at your own wedding?
What's happened to you?
Heck, being naked might be better than wearing that thing. Looking good, Mrs. Troy. Well, Campio's seen enough. And the heir to the holy rings of Betazoid doesn't even confine her antics to the Enterprise. She's even going as far as the office of a certain Changeling Chief of Security.
I've heard that you're the only one of your kind.
Is that the comm? I think it is. Excuse me, I've got to get to Ops.
That man's in a lot of trouble.
I don't even know who's more terrified. Picard trapped in the turbo lift with a bunch of kids, or Odo trapped in the turbo lift with Waxana?
I was just wondering how many volts are in that exposed circuit.
To be fair though, Odo and Waxana have some really sweet moments in the turbo lift that built a level of comfort that Odo's really only achieved with a couple of people. Of course, it doesn't help that the next time she's on the station, she projected her sexy thoughts onto everyone, and they all got hot and bothered during the Bajoran Gratitude Festival. She had a cold! But hey, that's nothing next to this bombshell.
I'm pregnant.
Wait, how? But it turns out her husband wants to take her baby away once he's born to raise him separate from any women. Yeah, apparently she got married for real this time. Probably another internet engagement. And who did she marry? Mr. I Dream a Genie, who's also bald. Should Cisco be worried? Or even Eddington? And the only way for her to divorce J.L.? Marry Odo. Wait, she's not naked at her own wedding? Again?
You're telling me you're not going to be naked at your own wedding?
Hey, where's Troy at her own mother's wedding? I mean, I know it's a quickie ceremony, but still! But Waxana, the force of nature that she is, has a way with men. Sure, she probably scares off 80% of them, or at least the ones she's attracted to. But even with a grown daughter of her own, she still got it. She's not resigning herself to an unfashionable elderly existence. She's going out there decked to the nines, full of vim and vigor. In fact, her age is entirely irrelevant. It's how young you feel, and she looks fantastic.
I'd never have thought her old enough to be your mother. She is so vibrant.
Now, I think what men see in Waxana is someone who's friendly and full of life, and this comes even in spite of her tragic backstory. Granted, it sometimes scares them away, but Those who aren't, I think, appreciate her joy and warmth. They see a woman who takes care of those she loves and who's willing to go to bat for them when things get tough. There's a depth to the character beyond her flirtatious exterior, and I think it's something that only Majel Barrett could have achieved. While LWAXANA Troi can be unpopular among some Trekkies, she's able to carry straight-up rom-coms as well as truly dramatic and believable performances that really tug at the heartstrings. Heck, she's joyful even with her tragedies and fears, making her a well-rounded character even though you could probably count the number of her appearances on your fingers. And at the end of the day, I think we can all say, Deanna's mom's got it going on.
I just love to hear more of your poetry.
Perhaps another time.
But that's all I have about LWAXANA Troi and her romances. But what about you? Do you love LWAXANA Troi, or are you simply not a fan? Why do you think men are attracted to her? Why do you think some men are scared of her? Heck, what do you think of her choice of men? And what are some of your favorite romantic Star Trek characters? Please, leave comments below and discuss. As always, thanks for tuning in to another Star Trek video. If you like what you see, why not give my video a like and subscribe to my channel? Tell your friends. Until next time.
Ah, there you are, Odo.